Senator Duckworth, welcome to the Daily Show.
It's good to be on. Thanks for having me.
This is a topic that I know is really near and dear to your heart because you're not just a combat veteran, but you're a combat veteran with a disability who went into a Capitol building that really wasn't designed for somebody like you or anybody with a disability for that matter. And you've been at the forefront of advocating for equality. So let's start at the top level. What do you think are some of the issues that are still standing in the way of disabled people in America being able to get a fair wage and being able to get a job that can sustain them, to live?
Well, it's everything from prejudice that they're going to be more expensive to employ, or that you're going to have to do something with your workplace to accommodate somebody with disabilities, and that's going to cost too much money. That's really, those are really false arguments. In fact, studies show that when a disabled person lands a job, they become very loyal and they stay in those jobs for far longer than anybody else. There's far less turnover with persons with disabilities once they're able to land a job. And they make really good, productive employees once they can get employment. But people with disabilities suffer very, very high unemployment rates, well over 50%.
In your home state of Illinois, the governor just signed an executive order denying companies or really government contractors from hiring people with disabilities at sub-minimum wage. Many, even within the disabled community, will say, hey, we can't transition into normal jobs. We can't do everything that these companies require us to do. And so some of these moments, some of these experiences are less about the income and more about us being a part of society. So to those people, what do you say to them? Are you concerned at all that they will lose an opportunity to be part of something? Or do you think there's a world where the companies won't now say there's no reason to hire them or we should hire them?
Well, these companies are saying, well, if you don't incentivize us, we're not going to hire someone with a disability. Yet the people with a disability have been doing that work. It doesn't make sense. This argument doesn't make sense. If they're already doing the job, you should pay them the same pay. And many of these companies actually have non-disabled workers doing the same job that they're paying a far higher salary. But because this law exists on the books, they're allowed to basically exploit people with intellectual disabilities in particular to do work that they're paying somebody else to do the same work a higher wage. And that simply is not fair and frankly un-American.
Do you think there's a way to protect these workers, once this law goes into effect? Do you think there's a way to protect them from losing their jobs, whether it be spite from the companies or just them trying to prove a point?
Well, we're seeing that many of these companies that had this argument previously have actually moved away from the sub-minimum wage, and they have not employed fewer persons with disabilities. In fact, they've employed the same people, and they've just started paying them the minimum wage. So we see that this is an empty argument. So there's this intimidation that's going on to really prey on the fears of both the adults with intellectual disabilities, but also their family members. And I feel that what we need to be working towards is an integrated work environment where we do make accommodations. Target does a great job of hiring persons with intellectual disabilities, and they stock the shelves. Some of them even work the registers, and they're working alongside any of the other Target team members. We have grocery stores that do the same thing. So we've seen that this model that we should be going to already exists and is successful, and we can start ditching these old, models from not just the 20th century, but the 19th century, where we take people with disabilities and put them in a segregated work environment and then pay them less.
Well, congratulations on the fight. I know we support you in the movement going forward, and I know we've got to let you go. So thank you so much for taking the time.